You die and wake up in a Valhalla for Florida men. They give you the head seat at the table. What did you do to get there? Shot a makeshift missile at someone's car like the Florida legend, Crystal Matheny. I had just been released from county and got a job driving the senior citizens of Mangrove Villa's retirement community around the Gulf to sightsee in the afternoons. Well, we're passing the golf course and from the back I hear Luann shouting about something. I look over and see two guys throwing rocks at some alligators in the water hazards. I get out and run over there. Hey! What do you idiots think you're doing harming them gators? They turn around and I'll be damned if it ain't Donnie and Billy Joe, my old cellies from county. Donnie was in on drug charges and sure enough he was bath salted out of his mind. We started tussling right there and then. Billy Joe was a good man and tried to break it up, but old Donnie, who was never much of a fighter, accidentally cracked him in the jaw with a punch meant for me and knocked out all 3 teeth Billy Joe had left. Before his teeth hit the ground we were falling into the water. As misfortune would have it, Donnie's pockets were full of bath salts, and after a few minutes of wrestling in the water the whole pond was infested with alligators high on bath salts. In full view of God and the elderly, them gators tore us to shreds and, welp, that's how we ended up here in Florida man Valhalla. I was cooking a special batch of my gator-flavored meth-infused bath salts, and the propane burner in the double-wide exploded, hurtling me through the front window of a nearby Publix, where I drowned in their lobster tank. I think you accidentally a second sentence, there. Shot by a woman who was not pleased with the back alley Brazilian butt lift I perform on her in a motel. Attempted to jump my jerry-rigged turbo jet ski from a lake into a swimming pool, and got my crotch impaled on an iron gate, though thanks to the fine work of Drs. Krensky and Altschuler, I was able to regain full reproductive function, leading to out-of-wedlock breeding of many more ignorant wretches like myself, who ended up running me over with the swamp buggy, laughing out loud. Edit. Spelling. Flirta. I'm just Joe Exotic. Okay. You know how Florida is basically a big chunk of limestone full of holes? Well, it involved a meth lab, a school science fair, baking soda and vinegar volcano that was bitten too ambitious, all during a real bad hurricane. Which is now why the island of Florida is bitten south and to the east of Key West. Rigged an election, then executed a plan to transform Disneyland into a fighting arena where any man accused of meth-related crimes can earn his freedom fighting alligators hand to hand. During the Great Gator War, the National Guard was called in to restore order. In the confusion, an alliance of Bayou Cajuns and rebellious state troopers threw me into the Disney World with a bag of meth, a Hawaiian t-shirt, a subscription to Florida Sportsman, and a K-bar, to reap at last the iniquity of Satan what you did had sown. I was killed by a crocodile eating me as I was attempting to strangle a meth-addled alligator with a live python. Edit. Corrections. For better realism. I stole Bugs Bunny's saw, so he couldn't cut Florida loose. Thank you for renewing your subscription to Fictional Lepority Facts. Tired of the endless rejections on dating apps, the endless hypocrisy that is our modern culture, and fed up with the meaningless monotony of life, I decided that I would go out in a blaze of karmic glory, Florida man style. Humming the jingle for Trojan man condoms, but with one significant substitution of a noun, over and over again, I cashed out my life savings and went to Clearwater, Florida with a 24-foot U-Haul truck stuffed to mom's attic with crystal meth, stopping only once to visit a gator farm and then the Panhandle on the verge of bankruptcy, so I could buy it, and then hire the pathetically grateful former owners to haul all of their gators in a trailer behind me. Once in Pinellas County, I paid a visit to the Pinellas County Jail and paid the bail for every single incarcerated prisoner who was jailed on possession and usage of methamphetamine charges and had been in jail for longer than 24 hours. Then, I informed the bewildered free junkies and addicts that I had a U-Haul van full of free meth, and that I was going to drive it straight into and through the doors of the Church of Scientology headquarters in downtown Clearwater, and that everyone there would be doing me a solid if they followed me, consumed the meth, and then promptly effed each other. I then did exactly as I said and drove right through the double doors, screaming the lyrics to Trashy Women by Confederate Railroad as I went. with an army of jonesing horny meth heads sprinting along behind me. The van split apart, the meth fell out, I staggered out from the wreckage, bleeding and broken, but still able to tear my clothes off and start looking for any orifices willing to take my dongzilla. And in the resultant cacophony, with the horrified Scientologists, all 50 of them, for a building that houses 5,000, coming down to witness this grand spectacle of sacrifice. That was when my former Gator Park employees showed up and released dozens of hungry alligators into the methed-up orgy. I never even noticed being eaten alive, as I had my balls and dong hammer being serviced by 2 mouths, with 7 teeth between them, and an anus so well used that it might as well have been a vagina. Next thing I knew, I woke up on the beaches of Jupiter with busty Valkyries serving me pina coladas, while Odin looked on from the Parrot Head bar, nodding in approval. I had one entry to Valhalla. I saw a dead gator on the side of the road. Figured it might make a good stew, maybe some new boots for the missus. Turned out to be a deer. No matter, I strapped that son of a bitch to the roof of my Jetta and off I went. Damn thing slipped off while I was cruising down I-4, so I had to hold steady whilst driving. Saw something in the road, tried to swerve, deer slid down and blocked my view and I hit the damn thing and flipped said Jetta into a canal. Turns out there was a damn gator in the road. Anyway, I drowned. I was jousting with my friend using some swords and a couple of ATVs we found in a ditch. Little did I know he actually had a gun. That game ended pretty fast. I died fighting a bear because I broke into what I thought was the tiger enclosure at the zoo, and tigers are trending right now, so I thought I could get a lot of views on TikTok if I posted a video of me petting one. I don't have a tiger, and the Tiger King people won't return my calls, so I had no choice but to break into the zoo at night and break into the tiger enclosure to get the video. That bear was a scrapper. Yes, I was drunk, why do you ask? Got into it with a guy who said he would kick my butt. Yeah, you and what army? Turns out he had an army, so I said yeah you, your army and what other army? The son of a bitch turned out to have 2. You mean they give me Jason Mendoza's seat? Bortles. I rode an alligator while leading my army of shotgun turtles down on a Walmart. Worked my way up the political chains, until eventually I'm president/prime minister of a powerful country. I enact stupid laws to attempt to cause mild amounts of chaos, instead of outright nuking everyone. For example, invest in plastic roads, but print tiny random symbols into them, for conspiracies of course, outlaw babies from being named Bob or Bisipi. A specific shade of pink isn't allowed unless it's a foggy Monday. All of my advisors are strippers that I randomly found. I elect that all non-critical power sources be shut off for one day, Friday the 13th. Everyone who walks into my office must address everyone they speak to as Bob or Bisipi. Fly to the moon only to remove the American flag from where it is, and move it 10.28 feet away from where it was. Invest in the world's largest movable rubber duck. All ships coming into my country must have some kind of googly eyes on the front and clear view. Water being transported in any container smaller than my thumb is illegal. I will push other countries to do this as well. I will fund a cartel to get rid of other cartels, then work with them to become a legitimate drug-making company. All my bodyguards must carry a rubber inflatable sword. Eventually the rest of the government parties storm my office and execute me. I am gunned down with an inflatable sword in hand, desperately attempting to stab someone, but to no avail. Was a survivor in Florida during a Gray Still Plays YouTube episode. Rammed my pickup truck into an Everglade full of alligators while high on meth, chugging Budweiser and blasting Obituary. There's a park fountain in Tallahassee that stopped, spurting or whatever because it was clogged with condoms. My condoms. There I was, in the glades, wearing my cut-off jorts, my 2 buttoned-up palm tree patterned shirt and sporting the freshest mullet this side of the Gulf of Mexico. Mounting my trusty gator, Ron DeSantis, we had been macheteing our way past brackish water bull sharks for hours. I tilted my carton of Florida orange juice, letting the juice roll down my chin and over my gas station gold chain necklace. I finished the second half of my Publix sub in one bite, preparing for what I knew might be my final hour. We come out of the glades and I can see my target in the distance. Disney whirl. I loaded up a bulb pipe I got from the same gas station as my chain, an iridescent folding blade and my Flow Rida bootleg CD with some of that Tallahassee special, bath salts, Molly and Gatorade bottle bake and shake meth and a Whataburger malt milkshake. I ripped it till my eyeballs bled, then let Ron take a hit before we start charging our destination. Using a serpentine belt from an abandoned Hummer, I steered Ron DeSantis into a cove where several boats washed up and were abandoned after various hurricanes. One was perfectly angled out of the water, allowing us to use it as a GTA 5 ramp and launch us directly into the Magic Kingdom, where I was planning on murdering Mickey Mouse once and for all. After what must have been 90 minutes of uninterrupted airtime, Mickey Mouse's slutty silhouette in the makeshift laser sight of my gold and white Glock 45, I was picked out of the air by the cast members of the MCU and Harry Potter like a flying French fry would be by irate seagulls. My ragged but still alive body was flown to and dropped into the Gulf of Mexico, where I was forced to become an escort for a pod of dolphins for the remainder of the day before suffering death by cetacean snoo. Edit, typos. Valhalla for Florida. Is that like Mar-a-Lago? I made it out of Florida alive. I'm a mod of r/Florida man, so it's only appropriate I take my rightful place. Pass the flock a goblet, tonight we celebrate. Reddit link. Was minding own business. When 97-year-old retiree, who failed to use a blinker and was too short to see over the steering wheel, plowed through a stop sign and ran me over as I was walking my pet alligator, Crocodile. When I die I better not effing wake up anywhere. Finally get free and then they bring you back for all effing eternity. What a effing ripoff. So many possibilities, but I probably died in a house fire after trying to kill a spider with a flamethrower. I was riding my hog on the I-4 when I was squeezed between an oil truck and a poultry truck. All of us crashed in a spectacular fashion, shutting the interstate for a full day. That's right, I was tarred and feathered to death. I broke into a prison, ordered some food, tipped the warden, and attempted to leave, but I tripped over a rusty nail and died of the infection. I was Crack Sparrow. Got drunk on natty ice, smoked meth and tried to snuggle a 12-foot gator. I shat on their bar. You're probably wondering to yourself, user tender_but_slaps, did you really shat on their bar? To which I would say, of course, I needed to crap. Edit, spelling. Reddit link. Finally went after that goddamn gator that kept getting in my crawdad trap. The last anyone saw of me I was jumping from the dock while double-fisting a harpoon like a spear. Killed that some bitch too, but forgot I can't swim. For your information, you have to die in combat to enter a Valhalla. Single-handedly waged war against all of Florida. I didn't win obviously, hence why I'm in Valhalla, but they were so impressed that they invited me anyway. I once walked around downtown Cleveland with a girl on a leash. It was our first date. We met on Tinder. Tried to go fishing on the Panama City Pier during Hurricane Michael. The wind picked him up and blew to the top of a pine tree, where he was bit by an angry cottonmouth hiding from the storm. Bath salts. Witness me. I tied 2 seagulls to my feet and tried to fly while trailed by some pigeons that I keep laced. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.